Hi everyone, this is Melissa Paget, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create a Google form. A Google form is a tool that can be used to collect information from students or can even be used as an assessment tool. So to get started, you're going to want to go to your Google Drive and be sure that you're signed in with your Google account. And you can see up here in the right hand corner that I am signed in. Google Drive used to be called Google Docs, and now essentially all of those applications are located in the Google Drive app. When you hit the Create button, you're going to see a pull-down menu of all the different applications that you're able to create in your Google Drive. So today we're going to create a form. When you create your Google form, the first window that will pop up is the window that will ask you to title your form and then choose the theme. So today I'm going to create a demo state capitals quiz. And the theme that I'm going to choose the book theme, book classics, and hit OK. Once you select OK, you now are looking at your form, and so the next step is for us to add questions. Typically, the first question I add when I am having my students complete a form is a question that asks for their first or last name, and the question type has a lot of options. If you want the students to type in an open-ended response, you will want to use the text option. In just a second, I'm going to show you what multiple choice questions would look like. You also can choose option templates where they check boxes, where they choose from a list, a scale, grid, date, and time. And then the paragraph text I use pretty often. In my sociology class, for example, if students complete a Google form after we watch a video and I want to make sure that they have plenty of room for their responses, I would choose paragraph text, which essentially creates more space for students to write longer answers. So for right now, we're going to leave it as a text question. If it's a question that you want students to have to fill out before they're able to leave the form, you're going to want to check the box next to required question and hit done. Then we are going to add our next question, and just for demo's sake, we're going to jump right into the multiple choice question. What is the capital of California? And the option below lets you add as many answer choices as you would like. And again, if you want it to be a required question, you can. There are advanced settings which allow you to shuffle the option order or add other as an answer option. Once you are happy with the choices that you have, you will hit done and then just keep adding questions from there. For time's sake, I'm going to show you what my completed state capitals quiz looks like. And you can see that I have 10 multiple choice questions asking students to choose the capital of 10 different states. And let's say that after you've typed in all your questions, you realize that you've made a mistake. You can you scroll over whatever question you want to edit, and you have two icons, the edit icon, the duplicate icon, and then the delete or the trash option. And so if I wanted to edit the question about California, I simply hit the edit tool, and then when I'm done making my changes, I would hit done. If you want to change the order in which your questions appear, while you are scrolled over one of the questions, you would click and drag, and you can see that then you have the ability to move the order of the questions. So it's a pretty simple process. Once you have your form complete and you're ready to share it with your students, there are a couple different ways to do that. Once we've created our form, you can select View Live Form, and it will open in a new window the view that your students will see once you've shared the form with them. And you can see one of the things that I love about Google Forms is that it looks so neat and clean and organized, and it's very clear, and it's really easy for students to follow. So there's two different ways to share the form with your students. The first way is if you simply just want your students to have the link so that the form would appear in a window just like we see in this window. You could do a couple of things. You could just simply copy the URL and paste it somewhere or email it to your students. Obviously, it's very, very long, so if you wanted to use a URL shortener or bit.ly, that is an option. There's also a way that you can email the form to different groups of people. So if we go back to our view as the editor and we select send form, you have the option to send the form via email to certain people. And then the way that I share my forms with my students involves Google Sites. So if you're at that level and have a Google site created, then there's a great way to make it really easy for your students to access your form. So I'm going to go to a website that I've created just for demo sake. This is a government website that I was using. Let's say I wanted to put it right on the home page. I would edit my site and select insert, and over on the far right there's an option where you can insert applications from your drive. So I would select drive, form, and in this window are going to appear all the forms that currently exist in my drive. Right here I see my state capitals quiz that I would like my students to complete. I would select it, hit the select button, and you have a couple of options here as you're inserting it into your website. I always leave the width empty so that it takes up the majority of the page. It's just a personal preference, completely unnecessary, completely up to the user. Hit save, and in Google Sites, whenever you insert anything from Google Drive, your Google Drive, or a YouTube video, for example, you're not going to be able to see it until you hit save. And right here we can see my form is embedded on my website. So when students go to this website, they will see the form right there, fill it out, complete, and then hit submit. I've created my demo state capitals quiz form, but I wanted to show some real forms that I have used in my classes. So we're looking at my sociology class website, and I had my students do a mock tweet assignment where they had to sum up the main ideas of some of the founding fathers of sociology in 140 characters or less. And you can see that they all submitted it to the form that was inserted right on the page. And a couple of different question types were used when I made this form. I used the text format. Right here I used multiple choice where they picked the block or the period that they're in. And then you can see that this is a box for the paragraph text option where the students just have more room to submit their responses. One other quick one. My students watched the documentary Bully in our sociology class, and I used the text format. This is a choose from a list, and then again paragraph text, and you can see that any of the questions that have the little red stars next to them were required. So hopefully now you can see that creating and sharing a Google form with your students is pretty easy and a great way to collect information or assess student work.